How did everyone miss this? Malaysian Airlines Flight 134. It was a bright and clear morning at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Passengers hurried through the bustling terminals, dragging suitcases and clutching passports. Among them was Amir, a young aviation enthusiast who had spent years studying aircraft safety and operational procedures. His dream was to become a commercial pilot, and today he was on his way to attend a prestigious aviation conference in Singapore. He had chosen Malaysian Airlines Flight 134 for his journey, a routine short-haul flight with a stellar safety record. As passengers boarded the sleek Boeing 737, the mood was light. Families chatted, business travelers typed furiously on laptops, and children clutched stuffed animals. Amir found his seat near the wing, eagerly watching the crew prepare for takeoff. His keen eyes observed every detail, the pre-flight announcements, the safety demonstrations, and even the engine startup sequence. As the plane taxied to the runway, Amir noticed something unusual. A faint, high-pitched whine emanated from the left engine. It was barely audible over the hum of the cabin, and no one else seemed to notice. Amir frowned, trying to recall if this was normal. He had read countless manuals and watched hours of flight training videos, but this sound didn't match anything familiar. The aircraft took off smoothly, climbing into the azure sky. The flight attendants began their service, offering snacks and beverages to the passengers. Amir, however, couldn't shake his unease. The whine persisted, growing slightly louder as the plane reached cruising altitude. He debated whether to alert the crew but hesitated, fearing he might seem paranoid. This is a reputable airline, he reminded himself. The crew knows what they're doing. About an hour into the flight, the captain's calm voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a minor technical issue with the left engine. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened as a precaution. We are working to resolve the issue." Amir's heart sank. His earlier suspicion was confirmed. Passengers around him exchanged worried glances, but the cabin remained calm. The flight attendants moved swiftly, reassuring everyone while securing loose items. Amir's mind raced. The whine he had noticed earlier must have been a precursor to the engine trouble. Had the issue been identified during pre-flight checks, this situation might have been avoided. But why had no one caught it? Was it an oversight, or had it been deemed insignificant? As the plane began to descend, preparing for an emergency landing at a nearby airport, the left engine sputtered and failed. The cabin filled with gasps and murmurs of fear. Amir looked out the window, his worst fears realized. The propeller had stopped spinning, and smoke trailed behind the aircraft. The captain's voice returned, firmer this time. "We are prepared for this situation, and will land safely. Please follow all instructions from the crew." Amir admired the crew's professionalism, but felt a pang of guilt. Could he have prevented this? What if he had spoken up earlier? Suddenly, the plane hit turbulence, jostling passengers in their seats. The flight attendants struggled to remain steady as they issued instructions. Amir's seatmate, an elderly woman, gripped his arm tightly. "Will we be okay?" she whispered. He nodded, offering what little reassurance he could. "The pilots are trained for this. We'll be fine." As the plane approached the runway, the captain announced that the landing gear was malfunctioning. The aircraft would need to make a belly landing. The cabin erupted in panic, and the flight attendants worked tirelessly to calm everyone. Amir knew this was a critical moment. Drawing on his aviation knowledge, he began explaining to passengers around him how to adopt the brace position. His calm demeanor and clear instructions helped ease their fears. "Stay focused," he told them. "Follow the crew's guidance, and we'll get through this." The plane touched down with a jarring thud, skidding along the runway. Sparks flew as the metal scraped against the tarmac, and smoke filled the cabin. Passengers screamed, clutching their seats and each other. Amir closed his eyes, silently praying for everyone's safety. Finally, the plane came to a halt. Emergency slides deployed, and the crew swiftly guided passengers to safety. Amir helped the elderly woman next to him, ensuring she exited safely. Outside, fire trucks and ambulances waited, their sirens wailing. Once everyone was safely evacuated, Amir sat on the grass near the runway, watching the firefighters extinguish the smoldering engine. His heart pounded, and adrenaline coursed through his veins. He couldn't stop replaying the events in his mind. Had he spoken up earlier, could the engine failure have been prevented? Investigators later discovered that the engine issue had been a result of a minor mechanical defect that had gone unnoticed during routine maintenance. The whine Amir had heard was indeed an early warning sign, but it had been too subtle for even the crew to detect. The incident made headlines worldwide, and Amir's role in helping fellow passengers was praised. However, he couldn't shake his guilt. He vowed never to ignore his instincts again, no matter how trivial they seemed. Amir later shared his story at the aviation conference, emphasizing the importance of vigilance and communication. Sometimes, the smallest detail can make the biggest difference, he told the audience. Never underestimate your observations, and never hesitate to speak up. You might save lives. This harrowing experience taught Amir, and everyone involved, a valuable lesson. In life, as in aviation, the little things matter. Whether it's a faint sound, a subtle change, or a gut feeling, paying attention to the details can prevent disasters. The story of Malaysian Airlines Flight 134 became a symbol of courage, teamwork, and the importance of trust in one's instincts. It reminded people worldwide that safety is a shared responsibility, and sometimes, the difference between life and death lies in what everyone missed.